Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Music Den. I'm your host, Armando Venditti. Hoping you guys are having a good day and that you're looking after yourselves and one another. In this episode of the Music Den, I have a new album review to do for you. It is the latest release from Bon Jovi called Forever. The band are back with their 16th release. Forever was released on June 7th, 2024. The album was produced by John Bon Jovi, longtime collaborator John Shanks, and Joe Rubin. The album is released through Island Records and Mercury Records in the US, the longtime label in the US. The album also coincides with the documentary Thank You, Goodnight, The Bon Jovi Story, which is now airing on Hulu. Now, this is the follow-up release to their album 2020, which was released in 2020. This is also the first release from Bon Jovi since John Bon Jovi underwent major throat surgery in 2022. So there's a lot of stuff going on with Bon Jovi right now. Now, on the standard edition, there are 12 tracks, clocking in at just under 49 minutes. On the Japanese edition, there are two bonus tracks, one of which is a demo version of the lead-off single and lead-off track on the album, Legendary. Now, I've listened to this album quite a few times, and I gotta say, I am impressed. I really do like this album. The more I listen to it, the more I like it. Guys, this is not the Bon Jovi of the 1980s. This is not Slippery When Wet. This is not New Jersey. And this is not the Bon Jovi of the 1990s. And you know what? I really don't think it was meant to be. Now, as with the album Keep the Faith in 1993, a lot of these songs, or a good amount of them, I should say, are written in the first person and the first person's experience. Um, the lead-off single and lead-off track, Legendary, co-written by John Shanks and longtime collaborator Billy Falcon, fantastic track. It's a very much an emotional, reflective, introspective track where you have somebody that is looking over their life and thinking they're happy with with what they've done, what they've accomplished, and where they are in their lives. They don't need to be up on stage getting the adoration and adulation and applause. They're happy with what they've accomplished in their life, and they want to talk about it, you know. Um, Phil X's performance on this album is fantastic. In the band at this point, I should say, you have John Bon Jovi on lead vocals and production and background vocals. You have Everett Bradley on percussion, background vocals. John Shanks on guitars, keyboards, various instruments. Sorry, various vocals, various instruments. You have David Bryan on organ, keyboards, piano. Tico Torres on drums and percussion. Phil X on guitars and background vocals, and Hugh McDonald on bass. Okay. Now, getting back to the album. Um, it's a fantastic album. It's a reflective album. It's an introspective album. Again, the lead-up single and track Legendary is amazing. Up next, you have after that, We Made It Look Easy. Again, another introspective track where he's talking about his life as a kid, a teenager specifically, going to concerts, hiding out in the bleachers at football games, and staying out all night on the weekends, right? And enjoying his life and living his life the way he wanted to live it, right? Up next is his second single, Living Proof. Again, another fantastic track co-written with John Shanks. Next up is the introspective track, Waves. Beautiful track. Again, the musicianship on this album is fantastic. And there's also a good amount of anthemic tracks on this album. And I'll get to that in a sec. Up next, after Waves, is the track, as I look through my notes, Seeds, or again, another introspective look on John Bon Jovi and his life, etc., and what he's been through. Next up is the ballad Kiss the Bride, which is a beautiful, poignant piece that Bon Jovi wrote for his daughter Stephanie, right? Just a beautiful melodic track, right? Up next is, after Kiss the Bride, is The People's House. And this is one of those anthemic tracks, has an anthemic chorus, everyone getting together, you're coming together as a united front and just never backing down, always showing your strength and never showing any weakness. Fantastic. Up next is another anthemic track called Walls of Jericho, another uh, Shanks co-write, and Philip Lawrence. Okay. Next up is I Wrote You a Song. Okay, beautiful track. Beautiful track. Track 10 is the track Living in Paradise, a co-write with Ed Sheeran on this album. So again, John Bon Jovi, sorry, is basically stretching out and finding new inspirations for, song ideas and melodies and hooks, right? Next up is an interesting track called My First Guitar, which basically it's a song about John writing about his first guitar he ever owned. Okay. And it ends off with Hollow Man on the standard edition, track 12. Again, another fantastic track. The Japanese edition, as I said, has two bonus tracks. That was then, this is now, and the demo version of Legendary. Sorry. It's been one of those days, guys. Now, again, in terms of the album, John Bon Jovi's voice has changed in terms of his singing register. He is singing in a mid to lower register, more of a huskier kind of a tone. I would hear myself. I did watch an interview with him, and he's saying that he was training with a vocal coach to get his voice back to, be able to hit the high notes for when and if they ever tour for this album. At this point, from what I've read, it doesn't look like they are going to tour because maybe it's too early for him to go out and sing, due to his vocal surgery. But overall, this album is fantastic. Again, is it the Bon Jovi of the 80s or the 90s? No, no. He has gone through a major life experience, a life-altering experience, and he's coming through that out the other side and telling you what is important to him right now and taking stock of his life and putting it down in song. You know what? If you want a very relaxing, easygoing, anthemic album to listen to with hooks and melody, this is the one for you. Okay. If you're expecting Slippery When Wet or the debut or 7,800 degrees Fahrenheit, you're not going to get that because number one, vocally, he can't deliver right now. And number two, I don't think he would be interested to do that. He's done all that. He's got to move on to do something else, right? That's going to interest him and keep him going, right? So if you're a fan of Bon Jovi and their catalog and the different paths they've taken, this album is for you. Please check it out. It is a strong album. It is melodic. It's got hooks galore. And again, if you are an individual that likes Bon Jovi and through all the different avenues he's gone down as an artist, this album is for you. So please check it out. Once you do, please let me know what you think in the comments. Okay. And please click like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to keep yourselves on top of any new content that I've got coming up. In terms of new shows, I'm taping a new episode with Jim Bricker on Monday the 17th, and we're going to be tackling the topic of live albums. Okay. What's good about them? What's bad about them? Are they even necessary? We're going to be tackling that on Monday. And we're also going to be eventually with Bill Schuster, Jim Bricker and I, Bill, are going to be doing our 31 perfect albums, top to bottom, all killer, no filler. And that's coming up. That's going to be a series that we're going to film over a few days. And that's going to be airing, I do believe, in probably around the second week of July. So that's all coming up. There's a lot of stuff coming up here. So please, again, Click like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to keep yourselves on top of any new content that I've got coming up. I'm Armando Venditti signing off. Please look after yourselves and one another. Bye for now.